Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Shiva Srinivasan. I'm a student of SIS College of Art, Science and Commerce, Neeru, and today I'm going to present on the topic the role of risk management in an organization. In today's dynamic and highly competitive business environment, organizations operate under constant uncertainty, economic fluctuations, technological disruption, regulatory changes, cyber threats, operational failure, and global crises have made risk management a core function rather than a supporting activity. The increasing complexity of a business operation has elevated the importance of risk management in every organization. Risk manager plays a critical role in identifying, assessing, controlling, and monitoring risks that could hinder the achievement of an organization. Now, let us see the meaning. Before we understand what is risk management, let us understand what is risk. Risk refers to the possibility of loss, damage, or any undesirable event that may affect business performance. Risk management is the systematic process of identifying potential risks, analyzing their impact, and implementing measures to minimize or control them. A risk manager is a professional responsible for overseeing the organization's risk management framework. The role extends across various domains, including financial risk, operational risk, strategic risk, compliance risk, market risk, credit risk, cyber risk, reputation risk. Why is this topic important for us? As business faces growing threats such as cyber attacks, market crash, supply chain disruption, it's important to understand the importance of risk manager in an organization. The regulatory pressure of RBI, SEBI demands structural risk governance. Without a risk manager, organizations are reactive rather than proactive. Poor risk management causes failures such as Lehman Brothers 2008, the market crash which happened, and ILFS India 2008. These are the few case studies which we are going to see further. Now let us see what are the key concepts and features of risk management. The first key role is risk identification. First and most fundamental role of a risk manager is identifying potential risks that could affect the organization. These risks may arise internally, which is such as employee fraud, system fail, or externally, market volatility, legal changes, natural disaster. Second is risk assessment or evaluation. After identifying the risk, risk manager evaluates the probability and impact. This is often done using risk matrices, heat maps, quantitative risk models, scenario analysis. Risks are classified as high risk, medium risk, low risk. Second is risk mitigation. Once risk is assessed, the risk manager designs strategy to manage them. The four major strategies include risk avoidance, risk reduction, risk transfer, acceptance. Fourth, we have is compliances and report. Organization must comply with various law and regulatory standards. Non-compliance can lead to penalties, reputational damage, and business shutdowns. Next, we have continuous monitoring, the most important thing. It's important to track the records, key KPIs, and the KRIs, key risk indicator, and update the risk register regularly. Now let us see how this works. As we have seen the steps, let us look how this works. Step 1 of a risk management role is to first detect the risk. What are the risks the organization is going through? Second step is scoring that risk. The formula to score a risk is likelihood of that risk to be happen. It can also be called as the probability into the impact of that risk to the organization. Third is the priority. You can set this risk into high, medium, low on your risk matrices. Fourth is to take actions to avoid, reduce, transfer this risk of the organization. Fifth is to review and repeat, keeping KRI track, audit board reporting. Let us see an example here. A numerical example of an organization which has various risks. That is for say for example cyber risk, risk, staff fraud, data loss. The likelihood of this event happening, for example cyber attack, is 4 and the impact of it on the organization is 5. The score of this risk is probability likelihood into impact, which is 4 into 5, which is 20. Same goes for staff fraud. Score of this risk is 12, and data loss. The score of this risk is 6. So we can prioritize the risk based on their scores. Scores above 15 equals to high risk, and immediate actions are required. Now let us see some of the examples in the real life, in real case studies which has happened. Let us see for India, infrastructure leasing and financial services in 2018 crisis collapsed due to 91,000 crores debt. Absence of robust risk oversight led to liquidity failure. RBI and SEBI have since mandated strong risk governance for NBFCs and listed companies, making sure that they have their ESG compliances and all the risk factors being checked through. Another famous example is the 2008 bond market crash, which was the reason of Lehman Brothers' failure due to regressive leverages and inadequate risk control, which triggered the global financial crisis, led to Dawn Act in 2008, requiring robust enterprise risk management for banks and for financial institutes. Current development: post-COVID, organizations globally are strengthening risk function. RBI in 2023 guidelines requires banks to achieve a CRO, also known as Chief Risk Officers. ESG compliances risk is now a key focus area of risk management. We also have a mini case study on the HDFC Bank, which has dedicated Chief Risk Officer and a Risk Policy Board Committee. The three line of defense model, business units, compliance, and internal audit, has helped them to maintain low NPA and strong regulatory rating. Now let us see what is its advantage and limitations of a risk manager in an organization. The advantages are proactive loss prevention. A risk manager helps to identify risks before they are materialized, saving costs and protecting assets. It helps in maintaining regular compliances and ensuring organization meets the legal obligations. Better decision making. Risk informed strategies lead to more confident, sustainable, and business choices. Stakeholder confidence. Investor lending regulatories trust organizations with strong risk governance. However, everything has a pros and a cons. The limitations of a risk manager in an organization is it cannot eliminate all the risk, such as market risk, which is out of the control of a risk manager. High cost of implementation, as hiring a CRO, building ERM systems, running audit involves significant expenditure. Over-reliance on models. Quantitative models may fail under unusual conditions, such as the COVID-19 pandemic. Restric- Restrictions to risk culture. Employer may restrict compliance protocols, limiting effectiveness of risk control. So conclusion is risk management is an indispensable pillar of any resilience organization. By proactively identifying threats, building mitigation framework, and fostering a risk-aware culture, they promote organizational value and enable confident, sustainable growth. The key takeaway from this presentation can be concluded as the risk manager converts uncertainty into strategic advantages. The risk score formula guides prioritizing of threats. Real failures, as Lehman Brothers and ILNFS, proves the cost of ignoring risk management. So this was my presentation on the topic, the role of risk management in an organization. Thank you.